Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is your latest Arsenal news and transfer news. We're going to be diving into the latest around the club. Now, according to David Ornstein, Arsenal will have to sell in order to buy, but their focus will be on a midfielder, a striker, and a defender as well. So in this video, let's dive into the number of midfielders that we are actually looking at. Actually, there is one name, according to The Athletic and David Ornstein, and that name is Martin Zubimendi. He's the player that Arsenal wanted to sign in January 2023, and he is the player Arsenal will focus on in January 2024 as well. However, The Athletic are saying that Arsenal really have a lot of concern when it comes to FFP, and we have spent a lot of money in the last few years. We have not actually sold enough in that regard, and therefore January might actually come too early for us to splash the cash. You know what I mean? Unless we sell, okay? So we're going to be talking about which players are Arsenal ready to sell and which players do I think are ready to go in order for us to get in some good money. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. I want your thoughts there in the comment box below. These are the names that Arsenal want to sell if an opportunity comes around. Jorginho is one of them. Partey is one of them. El Neni is the next one. Cedric, Ramsdale, and Emil Smith-Rowe. So I want your thoughts on all those players, right? Arsenal will listen to offers, and should a good one come in, they will sell in order to make sure that we are on the right-hand side of the financial fair play rules. Okay, right, let's dive in, right? Let's dive into it. So first and foremost, Martin Zubimendi is the midfielder Arsenal would love to sign in January, given the fact that the other options are actually very difficult, and the whole Arsenal team is not actually convinced about Douglas Luiz. So there is one player that the whole management is actually very, very convinced about, and that player is the Spaniard Martin Zubimendi. So Zubimendi is a young, I would say young at the moment, a defensive midfielder at Real Sociedad. He's one that has been really linked with Barcelona, and he's a player that I think Barca will be looking at as a potential replacement of Sergio Busquets. But at the moment, Barcelona do not have the money to actually buy him. So he has a release clause of £58 million. That is around 60 million euros. And Arsenal think that is the right amount. That is a good amount of money for us to be splashing on Martin Zubimendi. When I consider his selling, when I look at him play, when I look at his profile, his age, and what he brings to the table, I think 60 million euros as compared to Kai Havertz's 75 million euros, and you compare him to Declan Rice, who is 100 million pounds. I think Martin Zubimendi has been well priced. His release clause is actually fantastic. And if Arsenal have the money, if we have the resources, I would actually implore Arsenal to go and actually sign him. It's a very good deal, very, very good deal. But there's a problem, right? There's a problem. We do need a midfielder. We do need a couple of other players in different positions, but we have a problem with financial fair play. So the Athletic are saying that Arsenal would love to sign players in January, and they would love to support Mikel Arteta and Edu. However, they also know that we are on the brink of actually breaking financial fair play rules. And I'm very, very afraid here, and I'm very, very concerned. By the time a club comes and says we are on the brink of breaking these rules, behind the scenes, right, there's a lot of tension. I'm not really sure if we have not already broken them, but if we have not broken them, then actually well done, right? Well done to the team. So that means that if you have FFP concerns, just like Man United, you can't go out and spend huge amounts of money unless you sell. Okay, it's as simple as that. It's either you make more money from these internal accounts and internal revenue sources, or from external revenue sources, which means that you've got to go to the transfer market. You provide the market with a couple of valuable assets. They buy and you make some money. So these are the players that Arsenal would love to sell in order to fund the move for Martin Zubimendi. Number one is Jorginho. Jorginho came in this year in January for 12 million euros. There was a lot of interest in Jorginho in the summer, and I'm one of those people who said if you don't have Thomas Partey, because I thought Partey was going to be sold, I actually said Jorginho should stay. And you look at the stage where we are in the Champions League, I still think Jorginho should stay. I really, really think his experience, his pedigree, might actually come good. However, if Arsenal want fresh legs, if Mikel Arteta wants younger blood, fresh legs, better players at the moment, I think Jorginho is one player to sell. Now, I think we can get some good money out of him, maybe 8 million, maybe around 9 million. And in January, 8 to 9 million, that's very good money. That is actually very, very, very good money. So, Jorginho, I would consider him, right? I would consider selling him. And I also think that if you sold Jorginho and brought in Martin Zubimendi, the weighing scales, the balancing is still in the squad, right? You've not lost a lot of quality, and you've actually replaced that with a runner, fresh legs, and a younger mind, okay? You've lost the experience, you've lost the pedigree, but then you bring in someone who is a potential Jorginho, but also a prime Jorginho at the moment. I think Zubimendi is in his prime. There's so many clubs looking at him. There's so many clubs interested. It's going to depend on who has the money in January, but at the moment, I would sell Jorginho. I would definitely sell Jorginho. Mohamed Elneny, I think Momo should be out of Arsenal a long time ago. Now that he's back on his feet, I think the reason why Arsenal kept him was to make sure that he nurses his injury and don't throw him out with an injury. It was kind of a loyalty pack, and it was actually very, very good. Now that that is over, he's back on his feet. He can find a new club. I think there will be clubs interested in Mohamed Elneny. I think he's not a bad player. I just don't think he's Arsenal levels. I just don't think he's more like a Scott McTominay at Man United. Not bad, not Manchester United levels. So it's the same thing with Mohamed Elneny, Eddie Nketiah. These are not bad players. Rob Holding. They were never Arsenal players, right? So they're not good enough to play for Arsenal, but they're not bad players at all, right? So again, Mohamed Elneny, I would consider selling. Cedric Soares, I would consider selling. I don't think there is a problem there. It's a no-brainer. You've got to sell Cedric, and quickly. Get the money. It's 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. I do not care. Get the money and let us, sign someone even better. Okay. Partey. Now it becomes more difficult. Do we sell Partey in January to fund the move of a player like Martin Zubimendi? Now this is ruthless, but this is what I would say. Whether Partey stays or goes, Arsenal should sign a midfielder. Arsenal should sign another midfielder. So for me, Partey should go. It's as simple as that. Partey should go. And yes, many people are going to say it's disrespectful. I don't like Partey. I don't know football. I don't care what you are going to say. But I think Thomas Partey is unreliable. Thomas Partey is no longer the rock solid Partey we brought in from Atletico Madrid. He's no longer that guy. He's very injury prone. And when he is on the pitch right now, he's competing with Declan Rice, who has been our best player so far. And I don't think Declan Rice has given us a reason to go, we need a defensive midfielder alongside Declan Rice because Declan is not good enough. No. He has shown us that he can actually maraud that midfield, run the engines, run the run the machines, and everything actually works out very, very well. So for me, Partey is one of the players that is going to raise good money when we sell, right? I don't think you're going to get good money from Jorginho, good money from Elneny, good money from Cedric. So Partey is one player I would definitely consider selling. Well, the other player I would consider selling is Aaron Ramsdale. This one is a difficult one, and I've already said that I would keep Ram until the end of the season. And the reason as to why I felt that way, or the reason why I think it would be a smart decision for us to keep Aaron Ramsdale until the end of the campaign, is if Arsenal win any major silverware, the value in our players will actually go up. You've seen it with Manchester City. They've won trophies, and all of a sudden, Zinchenko is 30 plus, Jesus is 50 plus, and all that kind of interesting stuff. So I would love to keep Ramsdale, win something, win the Premier League, win the Champions League, win anything, and sell Aaron Ramsdale for 60 million or 70 million. That's going to happen. But in January, I really think there will be clubs interested, like Newcastle, Come on, guys. You need a goalkeeper. Ramsdale is there for the taking. So I would say Ramsdale. Again, he's one of the players that Arsenal have that they can raise good money for. So I would say Ramsdale. 50 million, probably. That's good money. Emile Smith-Rowe. I think Emile Smith-Rowe will be sold either January or the summer, and he's a player that I would love to keep around, but the manager doesn't really see him in the same way, right? The squad loves him. He loves to be at Arsenal, but is it worth for you to spoil your whole career with players like Kai Havertz, Leandro Trossard, Gabriel Martinelli, Martin Odegaard ahead of you, and Fabio Vieira, honestly? Or would you rather go to a club where you're going to play more football? I would say ESR can go to West Ham. Eventually, Lucas Paqueta will leave West Ham to a better club. So I would say sell ESR and get good money again for another for another player, right? So I would really consider selling ESR and Ramsdale. And I think the biggest part about them, they're homegrown players. So that means when Arsenal go and sell ESR, we will get 100% profit. So we can register that amount of money as 100% profit, right? I think that is something that would be really, really of an advantage. So I won't be surprised to see ESR sold for only that advantage, or even Edin Ketia actually sold for that for that purpose. A player can actually be sold, and that money can be registered as profits 100% and instantly. Okay, so considering FFP, Arsenal might not sign Martin Zubimendi. And I understand, and we will all understand. It's better for Arsenal not to bring in anyone in January rather than Arsenal winning the title, and then we go back and Arsenal have been deducted 10 points for breaching FFP rules, and therefore their title has been cancelled. Okay, so Zubimendi, 58 million. That can be done in the summer after selling, after registering all this money from the Champions League, from the Premier League, and all that, and the TV rights. Then we can actually go and sign Martin Zubimendi. There are other options, right? The other option is Pablo Mia from Sao Paulo. He's a defensive midfielder. His agent at the moment is denying all connections Arsenal, and he's saying that Arsenal have not contacted him or Sao Paulo for the signature of Pablo Mia. But the interest is there. I mean, the rumors are there, and that means that there is some degree of interest. Now, if Arsenal go and sign in a player like Pablo Mia, probably on a loan deal until the end of the campaign, and with an obligation to buy, or with an option to buy, that doesn't hurt our FFP rules, right? That doesn't hurt our finances. We can bring him in, pay him some little wages, or probably half or all, depending on how much he's going to be earning, and then we can wait until the summer and we can get Martin Zubimendi. The other options, which I think are not even an option, is Joao Palhinha. Now, Mikel Arteta would have wanted Joao Palhinha as priority, but when I look at the structure of our squad and how we have done our transfers in the past, I don't think Joao Palhinha is going to be joining Arsenal. He's close to 29. He's going to be very expensive. I think the likes of Bayern will be buying him. I don't think it will be Arsenal buying him in the summer. And then Douglas Luiz, according to The Athletic, he's not the player everyone agrees on. So Mikel Arteta loves him, and a couple of other people love him inside the Arsenal technical room, a technical area, but not everyone is convinced about the profile. Not everyone is convinced about Douglas Luiz being the right player. And I understand why. I understand why Douglas Luiz is not 100% the profile. This guy is good. His profile is really good. But then I've got to ask myself a question. And I've got to ask you a question as well. If you like Douglas Luiz, what is he really good, and in which areas does he excel in? Is he excellent at tackling? Is he excellent at ball progression? Is he excellent at creation? What is he really good at? So you look at Declan Rice, he's excellent in winning the ball back. That is his excellence. You look at Martin Odegaard, he excels in creating and scoring goals from deeper areas of the midfield. You look at Kai Havertz, he's excellent in investigating space and getting himself into nice, really, really nice spaces that could actually be impactful for Arsenal if he can start taking his good chances. What does Douglas Luiz? Excellent. And at the end of the day, I still think Martin Zubimendi is the guy for us to sign. Very, very good player. I think he's young, he's energetic, and he fits the profile of what Mikel Arteta would actually want in a midfielder. Right. So hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get the conversations going in the comment box below.